It's gonna be here.
Alright, give it a second. It hasn't refreshed.
It's gonna be here.
Alright. Oh, mute that because that's gonna screw with me.
Okay, looks like we are live. Good evening, everyone. We thought we would have a couple more people on our call, but they are not here yet. Not sure where they are.
We did send the updated correct invite link to Kristen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And she said she got it.
Okay.
But I guess let's just go ahead and call the meeting to order as of 6:31. Okay. So the first thing we have on the agenda, first, the agenda is available in the, there is a link in the description of the video with the agenda on it if you'd like to view it there. Also, these meetings are counted as attendance for voting rights. If you would like to be counted for attending this meeting, please put your name in the chat as well as fill out the Google form that is also in the description of this meeting. So basically we had one off-cycle board action. We were going to be making a change to the bylaws, but then the circumstances regarding the bylaws change no longer existed. So we ended up canceling those. So since it was canceled, there's really no vote to confirm them needed. And then with that, we have our open session. So any members of the community can bring new business to discuss with the board.
Kristen does not have the correct link.
Okay, so she is showing in my calendar that she should be in here. So there was an old one that was set up by Tristan, and she might have gone into that one instead. But there is a new one that showed her in it. Let me just try adding her to it manually. It won't let me add her because she's already in it.
Just copy the link and I'll send it.
Okay. So we will just wait for a minute for Kristen to join us. Oh, and Brittany just popped on. Cool.
Kristen should be joining. I'm on mute. Kristen should be joining shortly.
Okay.
And should I go ahead and remove that old one that Tristan set up then off the
Hello.
calendar?
Hi,
Sorry,
Kristen.
guys. Hello. Sorry about that, guys.
If you can remove it for everyone, that would be great. I could only remove it from my calendar. I don't know
Okay.
if that's an option to remove it. I even checked the internet on how to remove them, and the internet was like, just have everyone remove them from their own calendars. And I'm like, well, that's not super helpful.
Okay. I'll see what I can do. Not sure.
Okay. Welcome back, Kristen. Thank you for joining. Sorry
Hello.
about the
How's it
meeting
going,
stuff.
guys? No, it's okay. It had to have been the old meeting link.
Yeah.
I don't know why my camera's not working, so I will figure that out in the meantime.
Okay. So we are.
I'm in Jimmy's. That's why my camera isn't working.
Oh. It says another app is using my camera.
Is like the other meeting still open in the background or something? Maybe. I don't know. So it doesn't seem like anyone has anything for open session.
I don't think we announced open session because we got distracted by Kristen not being able to get in.
Okay. So yeah. So we are in open session right now. So any members of the community can bring new business to discuss with the board. If anyone has any, just give a couple minutes for the chat to catch up. There we go. Well, that's a pretty headset. Ah, your camera. There it goes.
I think it should be current. I'm not seeing anything coming across yet. So.
Okay, perfect. So then the next thing on the agenda is plan discussions from scheduling visiting parties. We do not have any of those right now. Then the next item would be the Anime Detour Coordinator update, which is currently suspended, so we do not have one right now. The one after that is the update for communications. Brittany, do you have anything for us today?
Yeah, actually, okay, so I had a really cool idea just about engagement. Since we don't currently host or have like a lot of other events or like content that we do, and I figured in terms of social media engagement, if we started hosting something like a live stream or something to engage with like the anime community, maybe it was like something along the lines of like YouTube recommendations, and then we kind of share and discuss like cool social media stuff or content that we like from other conventions. It could just be kind of like an open sharing, like monthly thing. That could be, since I'm a coordinator, that could be like another thing for people to get involved in. And if I do like 10 or 12 in a year, and then people attended like 6 to 10 of them, then that's 60%. That could mean more attendee voter rights and more people getting involved. I thought maybe it could be a great way to recruit people to be engaged or involved in Anime Detour or Anime Twin Cities. And it could be a great way for us to start connecting to other parts of the community virtually, obviously, because I can't host live events, so I have no way of applying or being an SOS coordinator or anything like that. But I figured reaching out on our social media platforms to like engage, because I guess there used to be like anime nights and stuff at local libraries, and it could be a great way for people who can't get out and go, and it could be hosted by like an Anime Twin Cities kind of monthly thing. It's just an idea, and if anyone has stuff they want to contribute or help me organize it, that would be cool. But I just figured since our social media kind of doesn't have any content, you know, we're not doing anything right now, it's like a great way to like, I don't know, just get involved.
Start doing something.
Doing something. Yeah, because we might find other events that ATC could get invited to because of something like that.
Yeah, we used to have clubs, but they all kind of went away.
So. Yeah, I heard about
another thing too that could be utilized, because we do have like the attendee included Discord server, is, you know, we could always like stream or host like, you know, Jackbox night or something like that too.
Oh, like a game night.
like a
Yeah,
game
it could
night,
be
something like
virtual.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I can't do active engaged in Minnesota things unless I'm visiting, which I plan to do every couple months, which I could assist in hosting if someone else steps into that role. But in terms of hosting like virtual content, it could be we could just make it like the social media monthly meeting or something, and then it could be just some kind of virtual engagement in the detour downtime. Could have a really long title like that, and then it could just be like a way to engage. I don't know. It's just like a concept to fill some of the media void.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to like write sort of a plan up so we can sort of go over it and
I can plan like 3
figure
months
out
in
the best
advance.
way.
Yeah, so it could be something that
Mhm.
we start in 2 months, and I can kind of plan the first 3 months of content, and then that gives me 3 months to plan the next 3 months of content. And I can ask, maybe I can get like a small volunteer team that like are my assistants or something to like coordinate it.
Mhm. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, no, that's good to know.
That's all I have
Let's-
really in terms of updates.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, and I did have just one thing for you. I know that you just moved and everything is crazy. I had sent out an email a couple weeks ago about just posting about the elections on the ATC page. Do you know if you saw that? I don't know.
Let
I could send it
me go
again.
back and check.
I think
If
it was like
actually,
back on the 24th or something. Yeah.
if you don't mind resending, that would be really helpful. My work right now is like 352 emails between moving, so I really apologize. I'm not great at the email right now.
Okay.
So I will jump on that as soon as I receive and I can get it out tonight or tomorrow morning.
Works for me. Okay, I know a bunch of stuff happened in chat while we've been talking about this. Let me just do the financials update and then I will go through the chat. So the numbers that we got from the treasurer is the account balance in the business checking is $344,335.85. And then they're not labeled. One of them is the community fund and one of them is the education fund. One is $3,098.09, and the other one is $14,505.93. We will look up which one is which for the notes, for the meeting notes for later. Okay, so that is all for coordinator updates. So let me just scroll back up in chat because let's see. So the first question I'm seeing, I love the disability accommodations. Will it continue in the same enlarged capacity? As far as I know, the accessibility team with Detour is remaining the same. The board doesn't generally control that directly. Eric has a question about the investigation. It is on the agenda. It is the last item on our agenda, so we'll come back to that. That's about the investigation.
We did receive feedback. I'm sorry to interrupt. We did receive feedback that accessibility could have used more staff engagement. So that is something that Detour is considering for next year, is more staff engagement with accessibility. So that is just to answer that from interworkings, that is like in process as well. So thank you for mentioning it.
Perfect. They're asking why we closed the open session. It's because it didn't seem like there were questions coming in chat. This is another question about the investigation, which we will address later. There's people checking in for attendance. We used to have a New Year's party and a few picnics. Yes, the parties, I believe, were all kind of held by SOS. I would love to start having those again. We just gotta wait a bit until we can find someone to plan them. Let's see. Okay, and it looks like we are caught up on the chat. So then the next thing on the agenda is a 15-minute break. I propose that we skip that because we haven't been going that long. Everyone in favor? Okay, sounds good. We received an email. Let me pull up the email. From the Friends of the St. Paul Public Library. Basically, they host an event. This will be their 8th year, called Toshokan. It's a single-day anime convention, and they're asking us to help them fund it. They are asking for a $3,000 donation. And I know that we did fund it last year. I didn't look further back than that. Bruce, you're muted.
Sorry, I was just talking to myself.
Okay. So basically, I am all for it. It's a really cute little local con. It's free to attendees. It's like a great little meetup for kids and that sort of thing. They had 350 people in 2019 and 380 people in 2023. So basically, I guess we need to vote if we would like to agree to their funding request of $3,000.
What was the group from again? I'm sorry, one more time.
Yeah, they're called the Friends of the St. Paul Public Library.
Oh, okay. And is it like run by the library, or is it run
Yes.
by a library coordinator?
It's run by the people at the library, and then they have volunteer staff from their attendees.
And I believe we also approved the funding for last year. I think it's Toshokan, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's for Toshokan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, it was the Tosho.
I have no problem with 3,000. I believe last year we did 2.5, and then we matched the last 500 if they were able to raise it. So I think it ended up being 3,000 anyway. I'm
That
fine
sounds
just
right.
going with straight 3.
Same. It's completely reasonable. Great event. We've funded them before. I see no problem with it.
Okay. So I vote to, I guess, pass the funding for it. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Wonderful. Then the next thing on the agenda is the annual meeting reminder. That is going to be in 2 weeks. Same time, same place, 6:30 on stream on the 28th. Basically, we'll have interviews and the elections will go live for the voting membership for the new board members. There's one treasurer up and 3 board positions up. I forgot to double check. Yeah, okay. 3 member at large positions up for election. We have received quite a few applicants. So we might end up scheduling some interviews to take place before the meeting, but they'll be on the YouTube page so that people can watch the interviews if they can't make those interviews before they vote. And let me just, before we get to the last item, let's just check on chat again. Something. Okay, beautiful. Just some chatter, not a lot. Questions wise. So,
Real quick, in response to like the convention group kind of thing, if there are community members or people of the community that would like to see something shared on the ATC platform, please send them to like the board or myself. I have Anime Twin Cities email, and you could definitely like share that content. And then if it's something that I am in question and it doesn't align with ATC like core values, I can run it by the board. And then we can see about getting more content posted, like sharing stuff like Toshokan. I would like to see more community engagement, but since we don't have necessarily a coordinator for some of those roles, it is difficult to have content. But I can start looking for stuff being shared with me to be shared for that content. And as soon as we get a couple more coordinator collaborators, if anyone wants to apply for those coordinator positions, they are open all the time and forever. Then I would have like way more to share and content to get out there because I would be like their media presence. So if anyone has that, please send them my way. I will 100% share some of that content and get it out there. So thank you for suggesting that in the chat.
Okay. So this will be the much anticipated topic for the evening, as everyone in chat has been asking about it. I know we were all expecting the results of the investigation to be presented this evening. Basically, Mr. Gravely of Halverson Legal had his investigator reach out to Mr. McDonald to schedule an interview on multiple occasions. This invitation was not accepted until late Friday night. The interview was partially completed yesterday and was still continuing today as of this evening. There are going to be multiple hours of transcripts for Mr. Gravely to review. So he is going to need more time to be able to review those transcripts. Based on Mr. McDonald's cooperation, we are hoping to have the results by the annual meeting on May 28th. And that is all that we have regarding the investigation at this time. Let's see. Someone in chat, what is the job of the board member's description?
I did copy verbatim
I
into
can-
chat there.
Oh, you did? Oh, you answered. Wonderful. Okay.
I'll
beautiful.
just add, we do also vote on the budget for Anime Detour. So when that is collected by the executive team, it is presented forth to the board to vote on to approve that budget. As well as kind of what you guys saw with as far as donating to other nonprofits like Toshokan. We do vote to do those donations as well.
We also vote to approve coordinators. So if someone wanted to step up and take some of the open coordinator positions, we would be the ones who would basically interview for and approve those positions. And once we have some of those, we would vote to approve any budget requests that they would have as well.
Okay, let's see. What is the status of the convention chair? Yep, so basically Troy is still suspended until the investigation has been completed, which has been pushed out until the 28th. Yes, Troy has been talking with the investigators, so I would assume that he knows why he's being investigated. We will not be discussing the allegations of the investigation as it is an open investigation. Should we give it a few more minutes to see if any more questions come in, or?
Yeah, just because slow mode is set to a 2-minute count.
Yes. So Kristen, yes, Kristen has obviously been restored after her investigation was completed. So she's back. She got work to do now. I gave her a vacation.
So on the 28th, we will have the information regarding the convention chair. We will not know anything further until then, due to the current ongoing questions that were happening, because I believe they were still going on today. So there are transcripts to go over. Once that has gone over, Brian will present his report to us, and then we will be able to present it on the 28th.
I would just give it a couple of more minutes if there are any additional questions after this on that.
So given the lack of information, we knew there were going to be questions regarding it. That is why it was done at the end, just so we could do the questions, but we still could get through everything else first.
Mhm.
We will not be discussing what Kristen was charged with unless she sorry, I cannot talk today. Unless she chooses to talk about that openly, that is up to her. We're not going to make that decision for her.
Does ATC have an NDA?
Mm,
No, currently we do not have an NDA.
as we stated before, as is an active investigation, we're not going to go into the details. So I understand that you all would like to know, but unfortunately, we cannot go into the details. Do we think we should maybe keep it open until 7?
Yeah, I'd say until top
Okay.
of the hour.
Yeah. Yes, Kristen knows.
No, it's not an criminal investigation. Again, that would be up to Kristen. Please also understand that if it is her choice not to say something, that's her choice. We're not going to push it one way or the other.
Well, ATC definitely wants to continue having good events. We would like to start having more events. Whereas, as you know, the only events we've had have been Anime Detour for a while. So I would say that's a goal, is to try to have more events, which something Brittany just talked about. We will not be naming an interim chair, as the suspension has been extended by 2 weeks. So we'll just have to wait it out a little bit longer. Okay, so we've made it to 7 o'clock. All in favor of closing the meeting for the day?
Hi.
Aye. Okay, well, have a good night.